takeoff, 31 center, Southwest 1772.
Southwest 1436, midway tower, your company's going to land 4 right, runway 31 center, line up wait.
Line up and wait, runway 31 center, Southwest 1436.
Challenger 8 Kilo Delta, safe parking. I'm sorry to get that.
0.9.
8 Kilo Delta, turn right when able, kind of ground point 65.
What unit, ground point 65,
Southwest 1772, right turn to 130, contact departure 118.4.
Southwest 1772, good day.
Tower Jets at 651, heading 360, 170, rated to Herman.
Jets 651, midway tower, descend your discretion and continue. Runway 4 left is available if you go in the signature.
Okay, we'll take 4 left. That'll help us both.
Southwest 1436, start the right turn.
In the turn, Southwest 1436.
Southwest 3353.
Hello, Graveyard Talkers, and welcome to another episode of Graveyard Talking. But today we're not in a graveyard. Today we are standing here in a field. Actually, I'm standing in a boat access area to the River Raisin. And what you're looking across the field at a barn. Now, this is as close as I can get to the actual crash site of a Comair airliner back in 1997 that crashed in Raisinville Township, Michigan on its way to Metro Airport. I believe it came out of Columbus or Cincinnati, and it crashed due to icing on the wings and poor operational procedures, and everyone on the plane perished. But you can see the barn. Now you'll see a line of trees, and about halfway between the line of trees and the barn is where that plane crashed. So, being as close as I can get, I thought maybe we would do a very short video. Maybe some of the passengers and the crew who were on the doomed airplane are willing to talk to us. And maybe they all got something to say. I doubt that anybody's been out here to talk to them. No one is allowed back there. Again, as I said, it's private property, so you can't just go back there. There is a memorial set up for them, but it's about 15 miles from them. So maybe the spirits of those who perished would like to reach out to us. My name is Randy, and I'm your guide, your host. And we're here out of peace and respect, and we'd like to hear your story if you have something to tell us. So I don't know that there would be anything or anyone else here but those who perished on the flight, and we'll try to get the speaker working. For those spirits, for those souls on the Comair flight, are you here with us today? I am standing about 300 yards. I am standing about 300 yards from the crash site. Is there any spirit, anyone from that fatal plane who would like to talk to us today? Did I hear somebody say that it was horrible? Yes, the flight was horrible. The crash was horrible. Could you tell me your name? Bruce? Elizabeth? Bruce? Martin? I can check the passenger manifest. I believe it is made public, and if it is, I can verify your name on there and at least see if your name was on there. They're here? How many are here? How many souls are here that were on that airplane that day it crashed? How many are still searching this area?
No.
So we all are afraid. Well, we're not afraid of flying, but obviously we're afraid of crashing. Did those souls who are talking to me today, Elizabeth, I heard, Martin, were you aware that the plane was going to crash? And when you realized it was going to crash, what did you do? Pray? So for those of you who are still here, still roaming here, are you stuck here? Are you able to go where your remains are, where your family is? Wish? Trying to? So if you're trying to go where your family is or your remains are, what's stopping you? Him? So there's obviously some of the spirits, some of the souls from those who perished are still here, and yet you can't leave. Were some of your passengers able to leave? Were some of the passengers their souls able to leave this area? So we're curious as to why you would not be able to leave the area. Why do you think you're not able to leave the area, Elizabeth? So, so are you able to get on the planes? Because of the path, right above me right now, I can see there is a jetliner going across, and that would have probably been the flight path they took. Are you able to get on other airplanes that pass? It's 97, so that's what, going on 30 years, so it's like about 27 years now, somewhere in that neighborhood. 27 years you haven't been able to leave the area? So are you able to leave the area then and maybe come back? So what do you think? I mean, I've been here 10 minutes and there have been 3 jetliners that have gone overhead. What do you think? Obviously you can see them all the time. What do you think about them flying overhead? Does it bother you? does it bother you that while you're stuck here in that field next to that barn, that there are passengers that are flying overhead and can get to their destination and get home to their loved ones? Is it too much for you to remember the crash? Is it too painful still? I know I asked earlier, let me ask again. How many souls are still roaming this area from that crash? Not sure I heard. I'm going to try it again. How many souls from that airliner, how many people, how many spirits from the airliner, from when it crashed, are still walking this ground here because you can't get to where you want to be? 18. Not quite sure how many were on the airliner. It wasn't very many. Well, the crash, I'm sure that you all know, shook this community, shook this area, and still weighs heavy on our hearts. Are there some of you here that want to stay here in this field? Want to stay here, roaming here? And if so, why? Why would you want to stay here if you're able to go? Why would you want to stay at the crash site and roam here and have your spirit roaming here instead of going to where you live or where your family was? So it sounds like some of you are able to leave, some of you aren't able to leave, some of you don't want to leave, and some have left. Do I got that correct? Yeah. So, do we have any parting words? I'm about at the end of my time here. Do you have any parting thoughts? Come back? Why would you like me to come back? Yeah, I drive by, yeah. So that's, I'm assuming I'm talking to Elizabeth, is that correct? Because you seem to be the spokesperson for the group, Elizabeth. Were you Elizabeth, were you a passenger? Were you a passenger or were you part of the crew? All right, well, I want to thank you all for taking time to talk to me.
In there.
All right, Elizabeth, my time is up here. Do you have anything to say as I'm leaving?
Oh,
Where?
And I have one more question for you, Elizabeth, and I'm just going to let it run for a second here, a few seconds to listen to you. Elizabeth, can you tell me your last name?
Since
sounded. Moved it. Oh,
All right, everybody, thank you very much. Thank you very much for talking to me and reaching out. Always curious as to whether the souls of the individuals were still here in the field. We know some are. And with that, to the souls of the Comair flight, we wish you peace, and we hope that you are, and if not will, rest in peace. All right, thank you, everybody. I'm going to turn off the spirit box now, and we will talk to you another day. Anyways, thank you again for watching another episode of Graveyard Talking. If you liked what you've seen, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I can't make the channel any better without you. You are my guide onto how I produce this site. If you don't like it, tell me. I'll change. I can't change me or my voice, but if you've got something that you would like to see, like to hear, like to do, places for me to go, let me know, and we'll go from there. And by the way, places to go, in about a month, I will be heading to New Orleans. I lived down in New Orleans for quite a while. I have a relative that lives in New Orleans, and I plan on spending a week with him. And I will be going to Jane Mansfield's death site, where she was involved in a car accident, a car crash that took her life. I will be going there, and I will be visiting some of the most haunted cemeteries in the world. I can tell you I'll be in Metairie for certain. Won't be going to downtown New Orleans. That has become just too crazy down there for the public cemetery #1. But I will be heading to some of the outlier cemeteries, Metairie, and probably a few in Baton Rouge. My last time I was there, I went to the grave site of Ellie Mae Clampett, down in Douglas, and hopefully I'll put that picture here. Me and Topher went and visited her, and that was way before I was into spirit talking. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next.